Maybe you do the countdown. Oh, I need my questions. Yes. Yes. All right. Hi, everybody. Hello. This is Ronnie from Fairtrade Connection. I'm here today with Cherry Sripan from WFTO-Asia. So this is a very exciting day and time for us because this is our first interview. So we have decided to create every week a new episode where we will interview someone who is an expert in our industry. So it could be the fair trade industry, the non-profit, or ethical businesses. So today we are in the fair trade world with WFTO. And so let's get this interview going. The idea is that you guys listen. You might be a solopreneur, like a social entrepreneur, or already a big non-profit organization. I'm sure there is something in this conversation that will be useful for you guys. So yeah, let's get it started and let's hear what Cherry has to say. Cherry, you are the Communications and Advocacy Officer for WFTO Asia. Can you tell us a little bit about your job?
Okay. Yes. So, I'm Cherry. I'm the Communication and Advocacy Manager here at WFTO Asia, and I oversee our communication and advocacy programs.
All right. Interesting. I have my questions here, so sometimes I will be looking at them. Yes. How would you describe WFTO and more regionally WFTO Asia? What kind of work are you doing?
So WFTO is a key player in the global fair trade movement, which is a movement that aims at a more just, equitable, and sustainable world where people have a decent and a dignified livelihood through their work. And WFTO members are guided by the 10 principles of fair trade, which is a set of criteria that guide their business practice.
Yes. I think.
And yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, and here in Asia, we are a network of 151 organizations, fair trade organizations throughout 18 countries.
Wow. So this is serious impact here. 151 organizations in Asia. Do you know roughly how many people you impact with WFTO and through the work your members are doing?
Yes. So the fair trade organizations are working with, I believe, roughly over 100,000 artisans and producers.
Wow. Okay. 100,000 producers, so that's 100,000 lives directly impacted. But I believe all these producers all have families and children and etc. So it's a very huge impact. So we are really glad to have you here on our first show, Learn from the Best, we call it. We don't know if this is going to be the title or not. But we just found it interesting, like to listen to people who are doing this at a high level in our industry, and listen to basically what they have to say about communications and digital communications. So again, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, and thank you for the opportunity for me to be here as well, for visiting us here.
Yeah, for us it's fantastic. We are here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. So we like being in Chiang Mai, for those of you who know us. But it's the first time we actually visit the WFTO Asia office here at Payap University. So really great to be here.
Yes, and thank you everybody that's joining in right now.
Yes, if you do have questions for Cherry or for myself, don't hesitate to write them on the comment of this live feed. We have Diana here taking care of all the technical stuff with the tablet and the phone and everything. So she will monitor your questions. If you do have one, just type it in and we will try to answer it. So let's go on with our questions here. What is the vision of WFTO? What are you guys trying to, what kind of impact are you trying to have?
Yeah, and I think I touched a little bit on this already, but again, we have a vision of a world where trade structures and trade practices are transformed in favor of the economically marginalized, and that of a sustainable development and a healthy planet. And I think that this is a vision that we can all get on board with, right?
Totally. I think it's important that in the world we are living in, people are actually suffering from the lifestyle the other part of the world is having, right? Like in the garment industry, or even the cell phone industry, in many industries actually, there are people, actually real people in the supply chains doing the stuff that we consume every day, and we don't know much about these people. So fair trade basically is trying to be there and support these people who sometimes are exploited by stronger forces or more important players in our economies.
Right.
So it's very important that these workers have a voice, and I believe WFTO is trying to give them a voice, and it's important that people care about them mostly.
Absolutely. And then if I may add that while fair trade is a movement to create justice in trade, it's at the same time a business model that uses trade as a tool to address inequality and poverty. And we do this by a trading partnership that is based on transparency, dialogue, and respect.
Yeah, it's important that you add this precision that it is not a charitable organization. It is really trade. We're trying to change consumer habits and production habits through trade. So we're not against trade. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just saying we can do this in a more ethical way, right? All right. So next question is, yes, you are the communication manager here at WFTO-Asia. Can you tell us a little bit about what is the communication strategy for 2018? What are you guys focusing on this year?
Yes, so we create our communications plan based on the WFTO-Asia's 4 core missions, and in short, they are 1, to be a credible membership body; 2, to be a voice of fair trade; 3, to create market opportunities for fair trade organizations; and 4, to enable members to connect with each other. And we have a long list of communication objectives under each of these mentioned missions. But 2 big strategies that we're trying to go for this year is to create more opportunities for interactions that will allow for engagement and feedbacks. And then another one of the priority is to promote and amplify the accomplishments of our members and to celebrate the collective victories of the fair trade actors here in Asia.
Yeah, it's very important what you said, promoting their successes, because it's not easy to go countercurrent. It's really hard, and our organizations are struggling every day because we are not mainstream. We are trying to do something different. So this adds even more difficulty in our work. And so it is even more important to celebrate successes, because, yeah, we need to be comforted that this is the right thing to do, right? And since it's so hard, you have to go and you have to fight against very powerful forces of the market and consumer habits, and it's really hard. So when it works, we have to celebrate. I completely agree. Also, you speak about engaging more with your audience, with your members. What channels are effective for doing so? What are the communication channels that WFTO is using to communicate both with your external audience, which are basically consumers all over Asia, but also with your members?
So we have many communications channels, both offline and online. And offline, we do have regional meetings, and the one that's coming up is the Asia Fair Trade Summit. That's going to take place this November, the 22nd to the 25th in Kathmandu, Nepal. It's going to be co-organized by Fair Trade Group Nepal and WFTO-Asia. So I'll take this opportunity to ask you guys to, save the date and look out for more details about it. And then also we have a GS training, which is the guarantee system. That's how we verify the guarantee members.
Right.
And so we do those trainings, and then we do outreach at schools as well. This year we're going to be focusing more on that, to reach local schools, to give opportunities to engage young people, to acquainted them with the concept of fair trade.
Right.
And then online, we're active on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. We send out a monthly newsletter to reach, and then we are do mailing with our members.
Okay, so a lot of digital communication I can see. How important is this digital communication for your organization?
Absolutely essential. Our audience is spread across the world, so it's really essential for us to have a seamless digital communication to be able to reach them.
Right. Okay. So communication, online communication is very important. Let's talk about your members a little bit. I would like to know what kind of challenges these organizations, these fair trade organizations across Asia are facing. What is hard for them right now?
I think that there are challenges in many fronts, and we can have a whole other conversation about them. But I would just highlight one main challenge that have been mentioned and is being faced by our members, and that is finding players. Not players, buyers. One of the benefits of being a WFTO member is an opportunity to be a part of this network of producer, exporters, wholesalers, and retailers.
Right.
And within this close-knit community and family, there's a market opportunity.
Right.
But I think now we're at a time where fair trade organizations are reaching out for buyers outside of the fair trade circle. And I think that digital marketing is essential to making this happen successfully.
Right.
And a part of that is having a strong brand identity, and equally important is the visual identity, as well as the having a clear digital marketing plan.
Right. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. That it seems like fair trade is growing in one direction, but not the other one. That means you have more and more members. That means producer organizations in Asia, but also South America and other producing countries in the world. But it seems like the distribution side, the buyer side, is not growing as fast. So we have more and more people, more and more fair trade producer organizations competing for the same pie of buyers, I would say, within the fair trade, the WFTO family, I would say. So what you're saying is that it's very crucial that your members start to look outside of the network to really grow some market there. And then, is that what you're saying?
Yes, and you summarized my point very well. And this at the Delhi last November, one of the things that we're hearing is that yes, like we need to expand our market. We need to be reaching out to other buyers, and that's the strategy where we're shifting towards. And I think that our members in Asia, at least in Asia, what we're seeing is members are starting to realize, I think, the potential of digital marketing and how important that is to reaching buyers, to finding new buyers. But I think that they're perhaps a little bit slow to capitalize, in the move to capitalize on this potential.
Mm-hmm. Understand. Yeah. This is also something I have observed working with Fair Trade Connection, is that indeed, if you want to reach out of your niche, like yes, you can work with people who already know you, who you work with since 15, 20 years, and that's perfect, that's great. That's one of actually the features of fair trade. You work in the long term with the same producers, which is perfect. But you also need to go and present your business to new potential buyers. And this is where I believe digital marketing is very important, because now all of a sudden you're not talking to someone familiar that already knows you from 20 years ago, but you're talking to somebody who has no idea who you are. And so you're competing with all these producers across Asia, fair trade or non-fair trade, and you're trying to get the buyer's attention. So how do you do this? I believe is through an efficient online communication strategy. So that means you have to have a good website which is appealing, and when the potential buyer will go to your website, they will actually see something, wow, this company looks really professional. And I think what a lot of fair trade organizations nowadays are suffering from is that their website is not really up to date, it's not really appealing, and does not convey this feeling of professionalism. So this is probably one thing we should work on. We also have, as you were mentioning, not a social media, but a digital communication strategy. So it's important, I think, to understand that it's not enough to have a website or a Facebook page, but it is what you make of it. Like, how do you use these tools? Because at the end of the day, those are tools. How do you use these tools to get the attention of a potential client, potential buyer, bring that potential buyer to where you want to bring them, be it your website, an online catalog, or whatever, and then have this person to actually take the specific action you want them to take the phone and call you, download your product catalog, or watch a specific video that you have invested into to present your organization. Whatever that action may be, having a digital marketing strategy means everything from setting the goals to implementing the actions to driving the person where you want them to drive and have them to conclude this one specific action that would lead to something, a positive benefit from for your company. So this whole thing, I think, is a little bit still misunderstood in our fair trade network, in our fair trade family, I would say, and that people need to further develop, further work on. Yeah?
Yeah, so thank you for clarifying all of that. And one thing that I want to add is that there's a good news, is that younger people are a lot more willing to support ethical and fair trade brands, and we need to be capitalizing on this. We need to capture this opportunity, but as we all know, that young people are spending time a lot more online now, and so if we want their attention, if we want their support, we need to be sending our messages through those channels that they're present on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I hear this a lot when I talk with fair trade organizations. Many are trying to shift from their average consumer base, who are mostly like already 50 or 45 plus year old people who used to go to the World Shop and buy fair trade products there, to a much younger demographics, and try to convince millennials to buy fair trade products. And so if you want to do so, I think you're right, we need to adapt the content that we push, but also the platform where we push the content.
Exactly.
Yeah, millennials are not going to the World Shop. They are going to Instagram, or they are spending their time watching Netflix, or just hanging out on Facebook. So yeah, this is a very important point. You want to add something to this?
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, fair trade organizations are in a good position to gain from consumers being more aware and more caring about like what brands are doing, how social and environmental responsible they are. So we are in a good place to gain and to capture this audience. So again, driving down the point that they are present online, we need to be have a strategy to capture them.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, totally agree. And
Engage them.
and we can have a strategy not only to sell products to millennials, but also attract millennials to the movement, right? Like we want them to come and work with us. We want their energy, their expertise, their skills to benefit our cause, because I sincerely believe that if the fair trade message is spread correctly, it can appeal to everybody. I mean, everybody has this deep notion of what is right, what is wrong, right? And I don't believe that somebody exploited working 15 hours a day and risking their own lives, if the factory collapses, is fundamentally right. It's not right. And I think everybody deep down knows that. But what it is that we are still driven by other values when it comes to buying a product, mostly price, and we are going for the cheaper products. But I think millennials, they ask questions, they are curious, they want meaning, they want purpose. Mm-hmm. So if we, the fair trade movement, project this idea of modernism, of being the voice of fair trade, but in a way that we can actually reach millennials, then they would be interested in joining us and working with us. But the problem is that today we are not yet at this level of communicating where we should be communicating, I believe. Like we're not using the right platforms and not sending out exactly the right message for this new audience we are trying to reach.
Amazing work and huge impacts are being done by our members, and we need to make those impacts be known.
Right.
I think that is really the key here.
Yes, yes, for sure. And we want this impact to be seen. Like you said, we need to celebrate these successes. So I'm all for it. Moving on to the next questions. Yes, being conscious of these challenges, mostly in terms of communication, reaching the right audience, the right target. What is WFTO doing to support your members into finding new markets? What is being done?
Yes. So at the communications department, one of the main activities that we do is using our platforms to promote the work and the products of our members. Yep. So that's one of the things we do. But now we really want to encourage our members to really take digital marketing more seriously and really realizing that is a huge potential in that.
All right. Yes, that's, I think, a good way to go. We will try with our shows and the content we pull and we put on our group and our Facebook page, but also on your page. There is a lot of resources available. So we will try to be more conscious of this and share more valuable information that could be leveraged by your members so that they can themselves go and continue going in this right direction of online marketing and communication. Very good. Do we have any questions?
No.
No? All right. Don't hesitate to ask us questions, guys. Do we have any viewers at least?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, yes. Last question. What would be your message for young and not so young change makers across Asia? And we will finish with this.
Okay. And this really might sound cliche, but I really believe in this and live my life by it. And my message is that your action matters. Your action, no matter how little you think they might be, make an impact. And little by little, we'll get to create a world that we want to live in it together. And so thank you for the work that all the change makers that are doing the work that you're doing, and continue your work, and your work really matters. And live fair.
Yes, go fair trade and
be fair by fair.
Be fair by fair. All the slogans that you want.
Be an active citizen.
And be an agent for change. And most.
Join our Facebook group. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So. Thank you very much for watching this show. Thank you very much, Sherry, for having us here.
Yes. And thank you again for giving me opportunity to interact with the audience. And thank you for everybody who's tuning in. Follow us WFTO-Asia, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. Visit us on the website. Brands and buyers or consumers who are looking to buy fair trade products or to seek out producer organization to work with, I invite you to visit our website. We have a raw material and product search engine that makes it really easy for you to identify members that you might want to work with or the kind of materials they work with. Really easy to use, so we invite you to come visit us and learn more about us. Thank you so much.
Yep. And one tool I use on a regular basis is the supplier tool from the WFTO Global website. So under our members, I think there is a tool and you can search for suppliers, fair trade suppliers, but also retailers, I think, all over the world. So you can search by country, you can search, and this is a very important tool to mention also, because if you are a company and you are thinking about going into fair trade products, you can really find a ton of suppliers there. And they are all members of WFTO or in the process of becoming member. So I encourage you to look for this tool. It's on WFTO.com. In the Our Member section, I think.
And that's separate from what's on our website.
And that's separate from that's on their website. Their website is WFTO-Asia.com.
Yes.
So if you're looking for suppliers in Asia, that's the place to go.
Yes.
And I'm just going to wrap this up saying thank you for listening to us, for watching us. This is a first for us, this Facebook Live. experience. So every week we are trying to bring value by interviewing someone with great ideas like Cherry today. We don't know yet who's going to be on next week, but we hope you will definitely be here. Thank you for watching.